Perfect.
Yay.
Yay, we've got it.
Thank you everyone for bearing with us on this Mercury retrograde little technical mishap. So Josefina and I are re-recording this for you, and I think this is a really great opportunity for us to take a little bit of time and create this tantric conversation between the two of us, and also ritual that you can practice anytime you want at home on your own time. So without further ado, I'm Ariel, the founder of the Sensualist, and we are a brand focused on helping you experience sensuality through the senses. So we have products and we have articles and content all focused on getting into your body and getting into your sensuality. Josefina is a sensual goddess that I have recently become friends with, and I will let you introduce yourself, actually.
Thank you. You also are a sensual goddess and badass entrepreneur that I really am so fond and adore. So happy to be here.
Thank you.
And happy to be working and collaborating and really showing what's possible when women come together, for a cause of awakening the senses like this. And hopefully all of you who are watching will become your own sensual gods and goddesses and awaken. And my name is Josefina Bashout. I'm also known as the Pussy Priestess. I am a tantric love, sex, and relationship coach, and also a feminine empowerment expert and mentor. And today I'm here to bring some education, some experiential learning, some pleasure, some fun, and hopefully you will leave here feeling more deeply connected to something inside of yourself that maybe has been dormant or will be fueled up more than it has been due to these wild times that we're living in today. So Ariel and I have come together to bring you the power of Tantra in a way that is really available and accessible to the modern times when we really need these practices the most. So one of my evolutionary aims is to help demystify Tantra. So it really is something that becomes more of an everyday way of being, a way of life, a lifestyle, not just something that's done in the bedroom. For those of you that are familiar with Tantra, you may know, and if you're familiar, you'll know that it's not just about the bedroom. For a lot of you who may be watching who are not familiar, maybe hear about Tantra in the mainstream, the most famous thing is hearing Sting, the singer, talk about having 8 hours of sex and rolling orgasms with his wife. And that is absolutely a part of Tantra, but it is a small portion and part of Tantra. The sexual aspect of Tantra is just one branch and extension of Tantra. Tantra is about self-realization, self-actualization, and embodying your own inner wisdom while living open, available, sensually with life. So that is from in the bedroom, of course, but mainly it's out of the bedroom. And when you start to awaken your senses, as Osho speaks about, we go beyond the 5 senses and we enter into what he calls the sex sense, an energetic sense, where we use our senses, our 5 senses, as a tool to awaken that sex sense, that energetic sense that each and every one of us has within us, and we have the capacity to feel, to awaken. And with Tantra, the goal, if there was ever a goal, is to let go of the goal. The practice in the devotion is to be open and available to the right here and the right now. And so the word Tantra is broken down into 2 primary words: to liberate and to expand. And so Tantra is all about liberating ourselves, liberating us from our thoughts, our belief systems, our limitations, our conditions, liberating us from even our ways of being that maybe we hold ourselves back to, or narratives, as well as liberating ourselves sensually and sexually to experience full freedom, and then to expanding consciousness. So Tantra is a vehicle, a technology to expand consciousness, so we can raise our vibration, we can raise our awareness, and then therefore we can expand in our capacity to receive pleasure. We can expand in our capacity to be creative, to give and receive love, to attract and magnetize, and our capacity to actually hold what it is that we desire And more importantly, with self-actualization, it's being able for our nervous system to hold a higher vibrational frequency, higher energy that can then help us elevate and become more spiritually inclined and just enjoy life through love and bliss and joy. And then life starts to become really quite magical. Synchronicities start to happen. You start to meet people. And then your baseline way of being goes from maybe mediocre or kind of a challenge or a struggle to you start to heal those lower density energies inside of you with Tantra. And it awakens and starts to illuminate where you are still feeling tight or dense or haven't worked with some traumas that need to be healed. And so Tantra uses the Kundalini energy. Kundalini energy is a primal energy. It's a primordial energy that exists at the base of your spine. And you can imagine it like a serpent sleeping in a coil at the bottom of your spine where your sacrum is. And if you've heard of Kundalini yoga, if you haven't, it's a practice specifically with awakening that primordial energy that exists from creation or source and finding techniques and tools to awaken that energy so it actually moves through your body and raises you up into a higher state of being. So it literally changes your state, which means your baseline state of being, your everyday living, breathing, primary base point goes from here to here to here to here. And then there's a subtle and gradual incline that then becomes more of your natural way of being, which you'll have an opportunity in this session to tap into some of that energy. So it's not just an intellectual concept. You'll have a real felt, visceral experience of what that energy could be felt like within your own body and in your own capacity. And one little last caveat I would like to say about Tantra and the Tantric path, it's also about not needing substances or things outside of ourself or anyone outside of ourself in order to access these natural chemicals that bring states of bliss. So we have everything that we need to feel blissful and joyful, whole, happy, sexy, vibrant, and alive inside of us if we allow ourselves to access this natural source within.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I was just thinking, you know, this other piece about Tantra is that people often think that they need a partner to practice Tantra. And then they think, oh, it's not for me because I don't have a partner, I'm not married. And this practice has taught me, studying Tantra has taught me how to have a tantric experience within myself. I'm also practicing celibacy. So what does Tantra look like when I'm not sexually active and when I don't have a partner at all? And for me, I think like it's very, you know, we can say all these things of what it does for your life, and it can feel like, how is this possible for me to experience greater creativity and self-love? Like it feels very outside of our capacity, but doing this sort of practice where you're just connecting back with your own body and your own truth and your own soul wisdom allows you to know who you are. It allows you to have, you know, greater wisdom comes through your body, and it allows you to feel more comfortable because you're spending so much time connecting with your body, so that when you eventually do connect with a partner, you're comfortable in your body. You've been practicing being in your own vessel. That meeting with a partner, automatically you're already going to have a better connection because you're coming from a really solid place of truth and sovereignty within yourself.
Yeah. And to that one point, which is so stunning, and that really has shaped me a lot with my Tantra practice, is it also helps us evolve from just wanting these sexual connections and hookups. And it actually specifically with the Tantra that I'm initiated in, it really focuses on the heart, really focuses on that deep level of intimacy of knowing yourself. And like you said, it's opening up to another partner and inviting this dance. It becomes a dance because you know how to dance with yourself, and you know how to do to yourself and work with yourself and love yourself so deeply. And there's less pressure when it's you and you. It can be less pressure when it's you and you than needing to perform with a partner or needing to push or force things to happen. I think what you said is so beautiful, is that the goal wasn't to experience deeper levels of self-love. There wasn't a goal except for nurturing yourself and being with yourself. And so there's an organic energy that Tantra brings into the quality of your life and the way that you relate to yourself.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So let's take a moment, everyone, actually, just to take a deep breath, because I think it's important to get into our bodies after listening for so long. So let's close our eyes for a moment and just arrive in this space. Take a deep breath and notice anything that you feel in your body. Maybe you don't feel anything at all, and that's okay as well.
Mm.
We're going to go through each of the senses. So bring all of yourself to each individual sense, and we're going to go through them one at a time. And so as we're isolating each of the 5 senses, really focus on breathing and focus on bringing all of your presence and awareness to that one sense as much as you can. Just like meditation, your mind will wander, you'll get distracted, but just bring yourself back to that sense and allow that to pull you deeper into the experience. Okay.
Beautiful. And as you're still there and dropping into the sense, we want to invite you to bring your awareness into your heart. And with your eyes closed, focus your whole awareness down into your heart center. This heart that brought you here today. The wisdom that you heard the call to show up, to watch this video, to try something new. Drop into that big, beautiful heart by taking a deep breath into the fullness at the front of your body. And then imagine exhaling out of that big, beautiful heart. Again, breathing in from that big, beautiful heart as we drop into coherence and resonance together. And again, imagining it dropping out, expelling out of that big, beautiful heart of yours. Softening your throat, softening your shoulders, softening your jaw, softening your belly, softening your sex and your sex organs, softening your hips and your legs, softening your breath. Just let everything here be as soft as possible. In the next few breaths, as you continue to soften, as Ariel mentioned, can you bring your awareness to any sensations that are in your heart space as you soften the rest of your body? There's no right or wrong as we practice Tantra and exploring our senses. Just an opportunity for awareness. Not judging if there's numbness, no sensation, or if there is heat or tingling. The opportunity is, can you be with everything that is happening inside of you and acknowledge it from your seat of presence in the now, and come back to the moment of the now. And setting a clear intention as we still ride the energy for experiential growth, for deepening of self-love, for greater awareness of who and what we are inside, and our capacity to feel safe in our body, and through choice, sharing that with another. Let's take a deep, juicy breath in. Release a sound, let it go. Start to maybe butterfly your eyes open as we come back into this space. And as we take you on a journey through your senses, I know that we had sent you a little bit of a sensual toolkit. So I know that both Ariel and I have our sensual toolkits with us that we're going to use to explore our senses. And today I've got for my senses Beekeeper's Natural Cacao Superfood Honey, which is only given to like the royal queen bee of the hive. And I'm going to be working with this delicious, all natural, highly sustainable, wildly sourced product that can be found at Whole Foods or anywhere online. I'm also going to be using up my candle lit. I've got one of my priestess sisters has given me this very blessed, special anointing oil, Egyptian oil that I'm going to be using today. And I've got also, which I think you have as well, because it's from the Sensualist, my favorite go-to is the Rosebud Woman, the Arouse. Just this product I am so obsessed with. I use it every single day. Take it with me everywhere for the tingling sensations and the stimulations to come back in. So that's what I've got today with my toolkit. What about you, Ariel?
Well, my honey is not nearly as special as yours. Mine is just regular organic honey from Whole Foods. I want your special honey though.
You gotta get this special honey. I gotta get you very scented honey. Yeah.
I have this scented oil that we sell on the Sensualist by Mooncloth, and it's a hemp seed oil. And the scent is rose, copal, and palo santo.
Oh,
That's what I'm using for my scent. And then I have also the stimulating serum that just brings more sensation to anywhere you put it. And I have a little feather tickler that I'm gonna tickle myself with.
ooh, so fun. Gorgeous. So if you have not organized your toolkit yet, we want to give you a moment to gather all the pieces so you can participate with this fully. So we'll just give you a moment to do that. Maybe you want to even just press pause on the video and then go get it, and then we'll pick up in a moment.
Yeah, you need something sweet to taste. You need a scented oil, and it would be great if you had a feather tickler or a feather.
Or something that has texture, that you can just feel and touch. Even a shell could even work potentially.
Yeah, that would be nice, because we always think about soft, but you can also do something hard and cold, like a really nice metal. But if you don't have anything to touch, you can also use your hands. And you also need an eye mask.
Or a scarf, something to like just close your eyes.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a moment to gather all those yummy things, and you need yourself to come back. I'm also drinking rose kombucha.
Ooh, I love
Those kind of day, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful. Okay, so we hope you've got all of your delicious goodies. So you want to get into a comfortable position, sitting with us. Some of you may want to be on your bed. On the video, some of you are on your bed. That's totally fine. If you're with your lover or your partner and you're doing this, I love it. And it's going to be even juicier when you go into your own experience first, and then towards the end, you can bring it in. Because again, like we talked about in the beginning, going into your senses, it really is something for you to experience new about yourself, right? Your own inner wisdom, that inner inquiry. So you can come together at the end, but we want to really invite you to go into your own experience, because it also brings something fun to share with each other at the end as well. So that creates deeper level of intimacy. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to first start with the sense of taste. So oftentimes we will run around and grab our drinks or eat things, and we're in a consumer society. We're so quick to shove things down our throat and move so quickly. And how often do we actually really slow down to luxuriate in our taste buds and the plumping and the fullness and the playfulness that all comes within the senses of our taste buds and our mouth, and the aliveness that comes in, which for me, I don't know about you, but for me, when I go eat with my friends, we're sitting there and everything is so orgasmic and delicious. We're like, like it can move throughout your whole body, right? If you get really present and aware with it. So we want to give you an experience of taste, of what the sense of taste can do for you, and see if you have a new relationship to that sense, right? So everything here is about relating to yourself, relating to your senses. So if you have your honey, I want to invite you to open up the lid, right? And now I have a spoon. I don't know if you have a spoon, or you can use your finger. You can use anything that your finger is real good. Actually, I might use my pinky finger too. So what I want you to do is first just kind of take a look at it and start to move it around, and notice if your mouth is maybe even starting to salivate, or in anticipation of coming into communion with this honey. Notice if it gives you a feeling or sensation inside even before you put your finger in it. So now I want to invite you to put your finger in it and bring it on up. And before you just go put it in your mouth so quickly, I want you to actually bring it up to your lips and see where you can actually maybe paint your lips with it. Right? And then from that place, how can you slowly, start to incorporate your tongue? And it starts to drip.
Drip dummy.
Right? And can you feel your taste buds when you actually lick? So as Ariel mentioned, and we invite you to, maybe even close your eyes. Can you feel the honey rubbing up against those little sensitive buds in your tongue, on the top of your tongue? How does it feel when it starts to make its way towards the back of your tongue? And then starts to dribble and slowly melt its way down the back of your throat. And I'm going to invite you to take a nice breath to really feel that sensation. And now, for curiosity's sake and playfulness, how would it feel if you took a little bit of that honey and you actually went underneath your tongue instead of above your tongue? Notice what subtle shift in sensation that brings you. Right? Never rushing the process. And for me, that was a little bit more liquid. It was a little bit more sweet. Yeah, and it's sweeter under there than on the top. Right? But noticing that subtleties of that. And what about when you go like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was like a tang. I could taste the cacao on that one. Oh my God. Okay, that one really got me. Right? It's like a, whoa.
It's like a cooling explosion.
It's an explosion, right? Where the other ones were like melty and gooey, or my top of my tongue, my taste buds got a little bit swollen and rough. That was like an explosion, right? So 3 different sensations right there that we just spoke about in relation to your sense of taste. Did you notice if it heightened anything? Now I'm noticing my throat opening even more, which I'm feeling warmth in my heart, all through that sense of taste. Like that's how powerful our senses are.
Yeah, we're always, especially with food, right? Like the amount of times that we're eating, standing up, you know, sending emails and shoving something in our mouth. So taking just a few minutes every now and then to have a sensory experience with food is so sensual and beautiful and a really erotic thing to do with a partner.
Really erotic. Food play is so erotic. To play, to feed, to taste. There's so many things you can do with that. And if you don't have a partner, to play with yourself. How can you tease yourself and bring your erotic intelligence online? That's always the invitation here.
Beautiful.
So we're gonna go into our next sense, which is scent, and we're gonna have Miss Beautiful Queen of Scent, Goddess of Scent here, bring us into this experience.
So this is my favorite sense rather. And our sense of smell is the one that we utilize the least. Like we're definitely never in a moment where we're just smelling something, right? Like we're smelling it and we're eating it, or we're smelling something as somebody walks by that smells delicious, but we're in a conversation and we don't even notice it. And so this one I'm really excited about because it allows us to use smell to pull us into a sort of like meditative state where we can kind of go into a trance. So get a scented oil. And again, the one that I'm using, I love this one because it's so strong and it's a perfect balance of the feminine with the rose and a masculine scent with the Palo Santo. And for that reason,
purchase it. I cannot wait to get it. I'm gonna
like a really, really, really special one.
It sounds special, yeah.
And it's just like the masculine and the feminine, it activates different things in me, right? So as you're smelling this scent, think about what it's going to activate inside of you. So the first thing to do, I like to just actually hold it far away from my nose. So hold it like at a distance where you can kind of barely smell it. Start to become quiet and see if you can notice anything. Can you smell the different notes of this oil? What is it activating inside of you? Is there a longing to have more of it? And as you're smelling it, you can actually wave your hand, which will blow the scent towards your face. And see what that activates. Because now you're bringing in more intensity of the smell, but you're also bringing in this light feathering on your face. Just take a few moments to do that. Deeply inhale. See how far you can hold it away from your face and see if you can perceive the scent as you're waving your face, your hand in front of your face. Did you hit yourself?
No, I just got a whiff that like sent all this energy in my body. Wow.
So what I like to do with scent, we're going to put a little bit actually on the sides of our hands on both sides. So roll a little bit or drop a little bit there. So when I'm working with a scent, I'll use the same one for an entire month. And I'll use it in meditation, and I'll use it in self-pleasure, and I'll use it in sex. And basically what I'm doing is I'm creating this neural pathway connecting the scent to pleasure. So anytime I'm not really feeling like I'm in the mood, or I'm kind of just, just distracted or not really feeling sensual, I'll use the scent. And because I've created this memory of pleasure with the scent, it will automatically put me and my body in the mode of sensuality. So it can really help if you're feeling like you have low sex drive and you want to connect with your partner, or you want to connect with yourself. Use scent to get you there. So now that we've put it here on our hands, hold your hands in prayer in front of your face. Take several deep breaths. And allow the scent to fully surround your entire body. How can you go into this scent? How can you be fully immersed in this scent, in this smelling experience? Perhaps you selected something that's more calming to your nervous system. Is it helping you to relax? Or maybe you selected something that was more activating, maybe something a little peppery or lemony. How is that making you feel? Can you notice any sensations in your body that might be coming up as a result of fully immersing in this scent? Yeah, making sounds that sound like the sensation that you're feeling. Activating different parts of our body, of our throat. The throat chakra is connected to the sex through the vagus nerve. So anytime that we can make sound will activate and turn on our sexual organs. What does this scent make you feel about yourself? Does it make you feel beautiful or strong or sexy? Maybe it makes you feel playful or relaxed. What would you look like if you fully embodied this scent? What would you act like? More deep breaths and feel free to make whatever sound feels right. Take a minute to put your hands on your heart and just, again, feel the sensations in your body. When you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Mm. Thank you. That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
It's like I just was so taken. The scent is so strong for me. Such a sensual, scenty person. It just transports me into another world.
Yeah. I think that perfectly tees us up to go into touch. So we're just like, for me as well, I feel very like in the zone now because of the scent. And so I think this is a really good opportunity for us to practice some touch, some self-touch. So again, this is something that we're definitely lacking right now with COVID and feeling isolated. And I know for me, I've definitely longed for touch, longed for the touch of another person, of a partner. And I've practiced learning to give myself my own soothing touch. And that was so hard because for so long it was like, I don't feel anything. Okay, that whatever. Like you just touch your body all the time and you don't actually feel a soothing from your own touch. And so in doing these practices, which we're about to move into, I actually have been able to start to feel relaxed and soothed from my own nourishing touch. And
Yeah.
we don't always meet, of course, like to be touched by another human is amazing and never, ever, ever want to take that away. But in times when we can't have that, there is a way to relax ourselves from our own touch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna have Josefina take us through that one.
Thank you. So what we're going to do, and thank you for that share as well. And just to keep us in the vibe, I'm going to say I relate 100% everything that she said. And as we move through touch is also a very sensitive topic. And a lot of work that I do with women and couples is there's a lot of judgment that comes up when we come into touching because of the numbness, the oversensitivity level, or the checking out, or lack of sensitivity due to trauma or disconnecting from our body. So I want to invite us to be really gentle as we move through touch and to just be present with whatever is there, whatever sensations are there or not there, and to embrace and love and welcome all of those aspects as you're building and relating to yourself differently. And so, like she mentioned, for me also, there's a lot of numbness in my body. I couldn't really feel. And that's why I think it's a great idea, just for an added heightened sense to, use, if you have the rosebud, would be an amazing thing. If not, then we're going to use our fingertips and the little pot, like our little pads here as the point, as the sensitivity point. So if you do have, I want to invite you to put a little bit on your fingertips, and we're getting nice. And again, through the senses, notice it's like, ooh, now we've got some yummy moisture and some wetness. I like to also just kind of put on my lips.
Yeah, I do
It's
that.
like pumping and awareness and sensitivity and all the ums. So what I want you to first do is take that touch and just start to rub them against your own fingertips, your pads of your hands. So bring awareness and sensation. We're using this with our phones all day long, our computer all day long. So even our fingertips get desensitized. So imagine if you're trying to touch yourself, your clitoris, which has 8,000 nerve endings, or if you're a man wanting to touch your partner's clitoris and you're not able to feel that connection because the desensitizing. So it's a way of resensitizing the most very thin, subtle parts of your fingertips. And from rubbing them together, you're going to bring them on. And now start to bring your thumb and rub your thumb against each of the pads of each of your fingers here. And just bring awareness here. I'm going to invite you to either close your eyes or just breathe, really awareness. Maybe you look at your fingers. But again, how can you fully focus on the feeling? Can you feel even the imprint and the design of your fingerprints, the unique sensations of your skin that's live right here? And then if you can take that and you bring it now into bringing your hands together, kind of even rubbing them together and feeling again. And again, taking nice breaths in from the nose, out from the mouth. When you do this, you calm your nervous system. You allow your pleasure and your sensual receptors to come out of fight or flight, and to allow your receptors of your nervous system to be re-engaged with the moment, re-engaged with your body, allowing your body to know that it's safe to feel again, especially in a world that is not supportive of feeling our feelings or being in our body. So we're going to take this and we're going to now bring it straight to our heart and our neck. So right here. And I want you to close your eyes and start to just stroke your neck down into your heart space. And at first, maybe it's a gentle touch with your pads of your fingertips. And again, invoking sound, if that feels really good for you. Like she mentioned, it opens you up. It opens up your sex center, activates that vagus nerve, so you're able to really drop in, opening your throat, opening your sex. But just give yourself a gentle touch from your neck into your heart space. And from that space of caressing, bring your hands behind your ears in that very sensitive, delicate place behind your earlobes. And start to just caress that place right there. Such a delicate, gentle place that often we forget about. And as you touch, I want to invite you to bring it down to your jaw and your chin. Relax your tongue. Relax your jaw. Relax all those muscles in your face. And I like to even move them in a little bit of a circular motion. Sometimes when I feel like I'm going on the same stroke can be really nice, but also when you're exploring your senses, you want to explore with different strokes. So different patterns, different circles, different pressures. So if you've been using the pads of your finger, how can you start to incorporate more of the fullness of your palm? How can you, if you have your feather, bring your feather in? Maybe that light feather touch. I like to bring the fullness of my palms down to my neck, caressing my collarbone and my neck. For me, that is such an erotic zone, such a turn on. My neck, and starting to bring the sensations into that space. Taking deep breaths in and really just being with yourself, and now letting go of how I'm guiding you, and how can you touch yourself in a way that brings more openness in your body, that brings a deepening of your breath. Just allow yourself to be a pleasure researcher here and explore your touch. Explore maybe your shoulders, maybe even your breasts, your nipples, the center of your heart. As women, our breasts are an extension of our heart chakra, filled with light and energy. How can you take that and maybe cross and caress your chest? And just fully focus on the sensations. Maybe you feel numbness, that's okay. Maybe you feel a very slight tickle, welcome that tickle. Maybe you feel heat and fire and electricity. You can amplify that by amplifying your breath and really allowing a natural, not exalted exhale through incorporating sound that will amplify and enhance the pleasure that you're feeling. I like to even bring it into my head and my neck. Oftentimes the simplest thing of a head massage, a head caress, I mean, that is one of the most sensual, self-loving, erotic zones. My neck, my head, my hair. Instant pleasure zone, instant surrender for me into myself. And you can even play with a light pull, a light stroke, or a heavier pull. Let your head relax. And now from here, from your head, from your neck, I'm going to teach you something called havening. And what we're going to do to haven is a way to calm our nervous system and get back into our body so we can really feel safe. You can do this before you get together with your lover, before a date, before you go into even a sexual self-pleasure practice, to just send your body the signal that it's safe to feel, that it's safe to open. And we're going to take our arms and our palms, we're going to cross our chest, and we're going to use the fullness of our fingertips, and we're going to do a gentle stroke down. Gentle stroke down, breathing in from the nose, out from the mouth. All the way down. For me, this always gives me goosebumps. So just be here and just haven yourself. Internally, you can even say, I love you. I am safe. Thank you. I love you. I am safe. Thank you. We're just going to be here for several more moments. So just give yourself to your own touch.
Emotions might come up during this. Maybe you'll feel suddenly like an urge to cry. And that's beautiful expression that needs to be released. So allow it.
And then from that place, giving yourself a hug, bringing your hands up, maybe to your heart or your shoulders, or wrapping your hands around you. Maybe gently tucking your chin in and just giving yourself a really big hug. Giving yourself that permission to be here, to be alive, to feel. That is our birthright. That is why we are here on this planet, is to feel the full spectrum of what it is to be a human being alive.
So beautiful.
Thank you. And as Ariel mentioned, there may be things that come up, there may be emotions. I know it can be a very emotional process. And that is why sound is such a powerful tool to release. Oftentimes, we will hold our voice back. We will withhold saying, we will withhold expressing because of fear or judgment or uncertainty. And what we're doing when we hold back from vocalizing and expressing in that throat chakra, we are closing our sex center, we are closing our creative center. We're preventing that energy, that Kundalini life force to bring us into full alignment and to awaken us so we can be open to the moment. So sound is so powerful because we're also so aware of how we sound to other people. How many people don't like the sound of their voice, cringe at the sound of our own voice. And if we're not loving our voice, if we're not taking up space and having a voice in the world and loving and connecting to that part of ourselves, then we are missing out on a tool that can really empower us and empower the full body. So with sound, it's a matter of using your voice as a tool, an instrument for awakening, for power, for your senses, also for your desire. When you're in the bedroom with your partner, how comfortable are you asking for what you want, for guiding, for co-creating a very intimate, sensual experience? And how comfortable are you voicing to yourself asking for your needs, asking for what you want. And that's whether you want a raise or a juice or a partner, or for them to rub you and stroke you in new ways. Those are all really important key factors here. So as we work with sound, I'm going to give us 3-syllable sounds. These are mantras that are going to heal and open, but also invite whatever healing needs to come up. So they may bring up emotions. It's meant to do that. You may want to cry. You may want to shut down. The invitation is to lean in, to lean into your edge, to lean into that zone of discomfort, because that's where you're going to have that breakthrough. That's where that bliss is going to come. That's where you're going to access more of your tantric sense, and your throat and your sound is such an important piece to that. So what we're going to do is I want you to first just feel your throat, feel your voice, feel this area. And I want you to swallow. How alive that area is, how powerful this area is. And often sometimes we hold ourselves back from making sounds when we eat when we eat foods that are pleasurable or drink things that are pleasurable. So I want to invite you to bring the pleasure into your sound. Be unabashed, be free, be liberated, expand yourself in new ways. So taking your hands and bringing it down to anywhere that feels good on your body. And we're going to start to make a couple of sounds here. So the first sound we're going to make is the sound ha. We're going to use the sound ha with the heart. We're going to use that ha to open our heart, to bring in love, to bring in joy. And we're going to go into saying each of these syllables 3 times to really feel the fullness. And maybe be gentle, and then we build, and then we build, and then we build. So allow that to be the invitation. So let's just take a nice big breath to center ourselves in, breathing in. Just breathe it out. Great. Breathing it in. And on the exhale, we're going to go into ha. Breathing in. Ha. Regulate your breath. Just notice the sensations that they get into your body. If you feel it in your belly. Good. Breathing in again. Ha. Noticing again how that opens you up. And on the 3rd time, I want you to really relax your mouth, relax your jaw, really open your mouth, really expand your heart and your chest. Breathing in. How good it feels to just use our voice to make sounds. The next sound we're going to use is vrum. Vrum works into our sacred sexual center. It goes directly into our sex center, our genitals, and we're going to use that to awaken our energy, awaken that sexual life force energy. So it's going to go vrum. You want to really enunciate that and let it move through your whole body. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Vrum. Take a moment and just feel that difference, that vibration difference in your body, the different sensations. And we're going to go again, breathing in, vrum on your exhale. Vrum. And on this third one, I want you to see if you can even move your body as you make this sound. Maybe it's a circle, maybe it's a pivot in your hips, whatever feels good to you to amplify that sound. Breathing in. Vram.
Mm.
Just experience that for a moment. Just be with that sensation for a moment. Mm. Mm. Just feeling that sensation. And on this next one, instead of going into a sound specifically, because those activated the two, I want you to find your own expression of the sound E, the higher chakra, the third eye center as we prepare. And I want you to allow the E to flow out of you, whatever which way. There's no right or wrong. That E wants to come through you and move through you. So let's give our body a little wiggle and a little shake. Relaxing everything. Good. And on this next breath in, we're going to breathe in, and however that sound of E moves through you, allow it to move through you. Be unabashed, be liberated, be free. Let yourself go there. Let's get weird if it's weird. It's all good. Breathing in. E. Oh my God.
A beautiful voice.
Thank you, because I worked that throat chakra. And instantaneous pleasure giggles, uncontrollable. Let's do it one more time because we can. Take a nice deep breath in. Third and final breath. How can you have fun with it? How can you let yourself just play with the sound? Play with yourself. Enjoy this moment. Maybe you wiggle, maybe you shimmy, maybe you even rub your chest or make a little touch point, but how can you shift that? Taking a nice deep breath in. And just stay with that for a little bit longer. How can you bask and linger in that feeling, that freedom, that sensation? Beautiful. And may that be an invitation to enjoy the fun, the pleasures of making sound as an instrument. Our voice really puts out a resonance, and let that resonance attract more people who are in harmony with that resonance as we use our body as a vehicle and a vessel for life.
That was so good.
Thank you. You're so welcome. It's so fun. And we're going to use this to now segue into sight, right? So we're going to go into sight. If you want to grab your blindfold or your scarf, we're going to go into that area. You want to share a little bit about the power of that?
Yeah. A lot of times in meditation, we just close our eyes, but we peek and light gets in through our eyes. So actually covering your eyes with something really, really, really helps you drop in. I cannot stress this enough. The blindfold or a scarf or anything covering your eyes is so important to fully go in and not be distracted by the light. Things like, moving across your face, and you're not tempted to peek because you can't. So I'm excited for us to go into the sight one. So definitely take a couple of deep breaths and ground back into your body. Again, like we've gone up and down the chakras. And so I think as we go into this one, let's try and root down a little bit, get back into our bodies, into our root.
Mm-hmm.
And put your blindfold on.
Mm-hmm. It's a little blindfold.
I'll do mine. I can be the demo.
Yeah, she can be the demo. I'll guide you on this. So with your eyes closed, and as she's saying, we're going to root in. So with your eyes closed, just bring awareness to your root, literally to your genitals, your buttocks, your full base, feeling the chair that you're sitting on or the floor that you're sitting on. Just feeling that, noticing that in the darkness. If that changes anything immediately. And as we go deeper now into the space of darkness, we're going to use the vision of sight, or we're going to use the third eye sight, our pineal gland. And so in this space of darkness, notice if that shifted how you're feeling in your body. If there are feelings of fear that maybe arise, feelings of anticipation, how can you just soften and let that go and be open to what's being shown to you? You might start to see little floating objects, fragments. Maybe there's colors. Maybe there's just full darkness, and that's all perfect. How can you be with it? And in that place of darkness, I want to invite you to bring forward in your darkness an orb of light, the pure intention of seeing light, even in the dark. What color is that orb of light as it enters into your consciousness? How is that light taking shape? Is it dancing? Is it angular? Is it round? Is it making streams? How are you receiving light through your pineal gland, through your third eye? And as this light starts to appear, how can you begin to allow it to move around? So start to see it moving around, almost dancing in front of you, like a snake-like S motion, starting to make waves and ripples. And now imagine these waves and these ripples of love, these ripples of ecstasy, of light, beginning to wave its way down through the rest of your body. So imagining this light now beginning to dance throughout your body, touching, kissing, caressing every cell alive within you. And as you deepen your breath, I want you to start to imagine this light becoming more vibrant, amplifying in power and in strength and luminosity. And from there, how can you imagine it in your mind's eye now, beaming out of you 360 degrees, creating this luminous orb of golden light around you. Opening your channels, opening your sensory receptors, opening your awareness to the room. And how can you now fill the room that you're in with this light simply by your awareness and your breath? Imagining this light now filling the room in relation to the walls, the lamp, the desks, the chairs. Feeling yourself, aware of yourself as that center point and source of light. Expand it out now into the relationship to the room that you're in. And when you feel yourself as expanded to each of the points, each of the four walls in the room, feel yourself open, expanded, holding this light, filled with light. And if there's a message that comes in this space, an intention, a desire, listen through your heightened sense of listening, through your eyes being closed. On your exhale, as the answers come through on the exhale and the emptying of our vessel. Now imagine this ball beginning to shrink its way from each of the four corners of the room, shrinking back out, never losing its power, its potency, or its luminosity, but now coming back down into you. You now housing this energy, a vessel for this divine energy, seeing it shrinking, coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in, all into your body, you receiving this energy, this light, until it comes all the way back down into the fullness of your body, in the middle line of your body. Bringing it back up all the way now into your heart. Where this luminous power will now reside and live within your heart space. Just for a few moments of quiet and stillness, witness through your heightened sense your present moment experience. Beautiful. And then bring awareness to your breath and the feeling of your body. And then, however feels best for you, to reveal yourself back into the light, to come back into this present moment together. Gently begin to take your blindfold off. And then come back into the space.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It goes so much deeper when you cover your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
So welcome. And some of you might have felt, I don't know if you felt, Ariel, in that experience, almost like a throbbing of energy. I don't know if some of you could feel that if you're sensitive or not, but in that stillness, it's like a throbbing or pulsation of energy.
I felt it here.
Right at your third eye. Yeah, I felt it here, and then around my body.
So
That's
I want to just give everyone time to come down. So I don't think we'll talk much longer. We'll just give you a moment to really rest now. Maybe shut down your computer and lay down for a few minutes and just really come down from this experience.
Yeah.
Great, whatever you're feeling. Thank you. And as always, please reach out to us and tell us about your experience. We'd love to hear. And we're both here for you on your journey.
Yeah. Thank you so much for practicing with us. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Hmm.
See you soon.
Soon.